Hi everyone, and welcome to the bench. Today I'm going to tie you up the long tail Chironomid. It's a very nice pattern, easy to tie, and whitefish love it. Make sure you have these ingredients ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we're going to use a Mustad C53S size 12. We'll use some UTC 70 black thread, a 1/8 silver bead as a bead, some white Antron yarn for the gills. For the body, we use some silver holographic tinsel, some fine red wire for the ribbing, peacock curl for the thorax, and some olive pearl crystal flash for the tail. The first step to the fly is to take your black thread, and I'm just going to tie on a small base layer. Once you have your thread tied on, I'm going to take a little bit of my white Antron yarn, and this is going to be tied in for the gills. And don't worry about making it too long right now. We're just going to tie it in right at the eyelet of the hook and trim off our excess. Take your whip finisher and whip finish off the black thread, and once we snip off our thread, we're going to take our silver bead and slide it up onto near the eyelet to cover up the gills. Now that the bead's slid up onto the gills, we're going to take our black thread again and tie it on, and proceed to tie the black thread all the way to the bend in the hook. Take one strand of our olive pearl crystal flash, measure it up the length of the hook, move it back, and make one long tail. And again, only use one strand of crystal flash to form this tail. Now we'll take one strand of our red wire, and it's actually a small, thin red wire, and we'll tie it in, and this is going to be used to rib the body after we tie in the body. After the red wire is tied in, take some medium holographic tinsel and we'll tie it in at the bend in the hook. And once it's tied in, what we're going to do is pull our thread forward and start wrapping in a body. And again, keep the body thin and slightly tapered towards the head end. Now once the body's completely tied in right up to the bead, we're going to take the red wire that was sitting back, and now we're going to form about 6 to 7 ribs up the fly. I don't think the number is really important, it's just you want them fairly evenly spaced. And wrap this wire all the way up to the bead. Next we're going to take one strand of peacock curl and we'll tie it in for the thorax. So just wrap it in right behind the silver bead, and then form a fairly small thorax, probably about 5 to 6 turns, and tie off. Now the last step in the fly, we're going to whip finish it off. Just to whip finish off our thread, trim off the thread. Then we're actually going to take our gills and trim them so they're about 1/8 of an inch long. Doesn't have to be exactly 1/8, obviously, it's just so that they're even. And to make the fly a little more durable, we're going to add some Ed cement or even flex cement to the body. And that'll just stop this tinsel from getting ripped apart by any of the teeth on the fish. This pattern is very effective for rainbow trout, but if you want a killer whitefish pattern, this is the one.